We are thrilled to have CooperVision as a sponsor of our show. CooperVision is a global leader in contact lenses, serving eye care professionals and lens wearers in over 130 countries with the widest range of prescription options. CooperVision can be trusted to have a contact lens that meets your vision, lifestyle, and budget needs. From 1 day to 1 month replacement lenses, there are lenses for most prescriptions in any lifestyle or budget. CooperVision brings us the first and only soft contact lens designed for myopia control and FDA approved to slow the progression of myopia in age-appropriate children. Thank you to CooperVision for living your mission to provide innovative products to help millions of people see better each day. Welcome, everyone. We're back with a very special episode of the Dr. April Jasper Show, and we've named this For Students by Students. Yep. I'm here with Allison Jasper Johnson, and Allison is my daughter, but she's also an optometry student, and she actually just came in from school.
Yep, just got back.
We grabbed her and said, hey, sit down. We have some recordings to do, and I'm sure you have some questions from the students, so bring one over. So, Allie?
Yes, so I actually did get a couple. I got a lot more questions, but the one I was thinking we might do today, because I know it's on everyone's minds, mine included, so we should go ahead and cover that first. The next one we were going to do was, how did you manage your financial, just your finances and your debts after getting out of optometry school? Yeah. Because, those loans are just crazy, and it's a lot of money, and people are just worried about it, and they just really want to know kind of what to expect. And is it horrible? Is it scary? Is it not going to be as scary as it sounds? So anything that you have to help would be awesome.
Okay. Well, we promise it won't be more than 15 minutes or so. So if you're listening and it's the first time you've ever listened to the show, we try to keep the segments short and sweet so that you don't get bored.
Yep.
So let's first talk about all of the aspects of money and the scariness of it. First of all, I will tell you as a student, you need to get it out of your head right now. So the thing you need to know is school is what matters. The debt is going to be there when you get out. And so do as much as you can to not have any more debt than you have to. So don't go out and be buying clothes all the time.
Right.
And shoes. I mean, you wear scrubs. It's all you need.
Yeah.
So just take it easy. Don't be spending money, because all the money you spend now, you're going to have to pay back double, triple. And so that's the scary part of it. But as long as you have in your head, this is an investment. And that's the thing that I always had to tell myself, because I didn't have any debt until I went to optometry school, like you.
Right. Yeah.
And so the whole concept of debt was almost more than I could deal with. But there's no other option for most students other than loans.
Right.
So you have to mentally be prepared to just put it aside and not let it be at the top of your mind, because it's not anything you can do. You can't do anything about it now anyway.
Right. Yeah.
So don't let it disrupt your ability to study. Don't let it disrupt your ability to enjoy your moments, because it's your first lesson. And enjoying your moments, put the first things in your list of priorities first. And that is not something right now that you need to be worried about. Right. So I'm not saying it's a bad question. I'm just helping you guys to understand that you can't change it.
Yeah.
You can't make that loan be less in any way other than just not going crazy with spending frivolously.
Right.
You need to eat.
Yep.
If you're not in good shape mentally, physically, you can't do well in school. So you need to eat and do the things you need to do, but save money when you can and don't spend any more than you have to. Okay.
Yeah.
Then in those moments where you can't put it out of your head and you just don't know how you're going to pay the bills, what you're going to know, and this goes to another question I know that you guys have that we'll answer another day, and that is, what type of practice are you going to want to go into? I'm not going to get into the pros and cons of different type of practice, but I will tell you one thing. You will have times when you will be offered jobs that don't pay you enough to even pay your bills. Those won't work. That just won't work.
No.
And here's the funny thing. People aren't doing that because they don't feel like you deserve more. Some doctors and some bosses, they have no concept of what your debt is, and they have no concept of what your cost of living is. And they
Right,
haven't
yeah.
actually done the math to say, if I pay you this much per hour, this is how much it comes out to, and this is what you can and can't do with it. So you have to know that in the end, let's say you take out $200,000-$300,000 in school loans. I mean, school, depending on what school you go to, is anywhere from $25,000 to $60,000 a year.
Yeah.
So now you take that times 4,
4
5, whatever
Yeah.
number of years you're going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your debt if you have no cost of living, like no living expenses.
Right. No rent or anything like that. Yeah.
Exactly. So now you are going to take all that money and you're going to consolidate if you can when this is all said and done. Hopefully interest rates will be less than they are today. And then you're going to have a monthly payment that sometimes is spread out until you're 65 years old. I mean, you can take it as long as you want. They give you a very long time on some of these loans to pay them back.
I mean,
So-
could you pay it quicker?
Yes, of course. There's
Okay.
always a path to paying it faster. And there's some jobs that'll do repayment for you, but they'll typically pay you less
Right. Because they're helping with
because they're
repayment.
helping with the repayment.
Okay.
So, I mean, it was easier for me to put it out of my mind while I was in school.
Right.
It was actually harder for me to put it out of my mind once I was out of school,
Okay.
because now I knew it was there and it was always going to be there. But it's still, if you talk to any financial advisor, and yes, there are times when you may want to see someone or seek the help of one.
Right.
Many financial advisors don't charge you for their time if they are the ones that are in charge of your investments. They make their money on your investments. And so that's another way you can go about doing this down the road. For now, I don't think anybody really needs to do that. I think right now the most important thing is just to keep from spending more than you should.
Right. So just take really what you need from
Exactly.
the loan. Okay.
Exactly. It's not
Free money.
No, it's not free money. And I hope everybody knows that, but it could be that there are those out there that don't get it and they don't understand what it's going to look like when repayment time comes.
Right.
Then when it comes time to get a job itself isn't usually a challenge, because there's not going to be many people who don't get that they have to pay you a decent amount of money. Where the numbers have to make sense is if you decide you want to purchase a practice, because then you have the purchase price and you have now, if you flip the process, which is what we did in the practice we bought,
Okay.
I'm now buying the practice and I'm paying the doctor that was the owner, because I don't want him to leave yet, because then the patients might leave too.
Right.
So you all of a sudden have this business that you're having to pay a loan on, plus you're paying your loans, plus you're paying the doctor. And so it sounds awful, but when
sounds
you
scary.
do the math, you have to just do the math. It's as simple as getting out a piece of paper. And I recommend this. This is actually a tip I would give anybody, any day, anyhow. You have to get the stress that's in your head out of your head and on a piece of paper in order for you to feel like you can manage sometimes in life. And that's not just with this question. That's with anything.
Oh, so that's your secret.
Oh, yeah. Get it out of your head, because otherwise you're sleeping with it at night.
Right.
And then you
Yeah.
can't sleep. And otherwise it's distracting you when you're in the middle of a podcast and you
Right.
can't do this. Or worse yet, it's distracting you in the middle of a vacation and you can't even have fun, because all you can do is think about those things that you didn't get out of your head. And it's as simple as getting it out of your head and on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you're a computer person, okay, fine, type it out.
Yep. Type it out. Get it out.
But get it out of here and put it there. That way, you know, number one, you're not going to forget about it.
Right.
Number two, you've got a plan, a path to manage it and take care of it. And it's already figured out. So now you can relax and enjoy your time. And if it's you working with someone else, say I've given you a job and I've said, hey, Allie, I want to make sure we get this done. You have to remember, now we're in this together and I need it out of my head, even though you're the one doing the job. That's why together we have to put it on paper.
All right. Yeah.
So we can manage it. But I kind of got off track a little bit.
Just a little.
But only because what I'm saying is now it comes time to pay your loans back. You're worried about the money. All you have to do is put it out on paper and see exactly what your payment's going to be. And then you figure out how much do you need to make. And that will help you, because the other thing that kids do wrong is sometimes they get out of school and go, done. And they immediately go buy the expensive car, think they can have the expensive house, and think they can have all these other things when it's only just beginning.
Right.
And it's not to be discouraging, it's to be encouraging.
Right.
And the encouragement in that is you will have enough to be happy. You will have enough to be able to do the things you want to do, but you have to have a path. And so it's a great question. I'm glad that students are asking.
Yeah.
But what I would tell them, number one, don't worry about it right now. Just don't spend any more than you have to. Number two, as you get closer to the time when you do need to start thinking about it, get it out on paper and bring someone in that knows better. And I will tell you, a lot of times what helps me when I'm stressed out about a subject, there are so many resources online now. You can listen to podcasts.
True.
You can listen like this. I mean, people can listen to something like this, and hopefully whoever's listening is going to go, oh, good. So I'm going to sleep and I'm just going to study and I know I'm going to be okay because there will be a job that'll pay me enough to pay my bills and be able to live my life. And it just, all that's going to be different is you'll need to know the math. You'll need to know the numbers so that you can better know what other things you might do in addition to the things you think you need.
Right.
And so, yeah. And I wouldn't worry about it today because there's enough to worry about. And what is it? There's many different ways people say it. But why worry today about something that may never happen? Yeah. Why worry today about something you cannot change?
Yeah.
Why worry today? Is it really going to help? No.
Nope.
And as a matter of fact, it can do a whole lot of damage.
Yeah.
So think ahead, but really now all you need to be thinking about is don't spend too much.
Okay.
Don't live a frivolous life while you're a student because you'll run out and never finish and you'll get stressed out and never finish.
Right.
And just enjoy the moments as much as you can, knowing that it's a lot and the studying is really where you need to put your energy. Does that help?
That does help. That was great.
Okay. So the money will happen. Right now, we're just going to study.
Yeah. Just study. I have a test on Monday.
Okay. All right. We'll let her get back to studying. Thank you guys for listening. Send your questions in for students by students.